Hello my friends, this is Jose from LuoVita. Today I'm going to talk how to achieve the impossible. So I know it's big stuff. So when you have this impossible goal, for example, it's natural to feel overwhelmed. But this goal doesn't have to stay impossible. So how do you do this? You must define your impossible goal, right? I mean, this is a resume. We are going over all this in a bit. So look at your goal, this impossible goal, as plus the more objectively possible, and ask yourself what drives you. You know, the reason why you should set these impossible goals is that it will push you out of your comfort zone, and this will force you to expand your mindset and thinking. This is very important, for achieving this long-term success. It will also challenge you to think about what it will take to reach your goal. So this is eye-opening sometimes, to see why or how far away we can go. For example, there was, Tesla, for example, he wasn't sure of it, for example, building these cars, but he worked, and it pays off, You can train your brain to get more done in less time, and more than ever before. And when you're trying to overcome, for example, something outside of your comfort zone, these strategies will help you to push you through the impossible. So we are going through some tips and ways to do this, to achieve this impossible. The first thing is to be specific. If you want to achieve something that feels, for example, impossible, start by clearly defining your goal. This isn't to be vague, but more to ensure, for example, that you know where you are going. So you can work, to get there. So if you don't have, for example, this clear destination, like a GPS, right? You don't know where you're going, just you can go everywhere. So, for example, if you have this belief, I can't, and never take action, this will just hold you back. Your impossible goals can be anything from turning your side hustle into business, into a full-time job, or buying a new home, for example. These goals must be big and feel out of reach, for this strategy. And this is why we are here. So the reason is because these types of goals will force us to expand our thinking and get out of our comfort zone. And this will also increase our motivation, even if it doesn't seem like this sometimes, but it increases our motivation automatically. Once you have this clear definition, make sure it's specific. You can measure it, and it's based on results. That means create a list of all these obstacles that you will face to create, or you think you will face to create this impossible goal, and how you will overcome all this. So for each obstacles, write how will I, or how do you think? Don't overthink it. How do you think you will overcome this? Because this will help you to discover that you are resourceful and more than you really think of, So it's also important to set a deadline. It doesn't have to be a hard deadline. That means it must be a date, for example. This will keep you focused on your goal, and this gives you also this sense of achievement when you achieve this on this time. For example, you might decide to it's impossible for you to earn 100,000 with your book, something in 1 year. So break it down. In order to make this impossible goal, it has to be specific. So, for example, instead of saying, I want to be successful, say, I will have a book that earns me 1,000 in revenue by December 31. It also needs to be clear. What does it look like? Is it being published or earning enough to live your writing? So be specific, measurable with your goals. So the most common reason people fail, to reach their impossible goals is that they just they just are overwhelmed how big and scary this task is, or how much work it will take. So this will lead to this paralysis, this sense of overwhelming, which makes us less likely to have this motivation to get there and to do the work. So avoid this by starting breaking this task to get there into smaller goals. For example, if you're trying to write this book, instead of stressing out about the project, break it down into researching, for example, the best platforms and outlining each chapter. And these smaller, manageable goals will help you to accomplish over time everything, By taking all the small steps, keeping your eye on the result, you can turn these impossible goals into reality. Believe me, just do the work. To learn more, sign up to our newsletter. Once a week, you receive this ideas, this insight. Once a week, and this will help you. And reach out, comment, reach out. We have other resources, incredible resources, only for our subscribers, because it's not published anywhere. So let me know, and don't forget to subscribe. But we are not finished yet. So, as I said, make this checklist. Achieving this impossible requires time, effort, and the most important is persistence. But there are some steps that can make this easier. So one way to do this, as I said, is create a checklist. This will help you to stay on track. Like an airplane, before takeoff, make the checklist. And so you don't miss anything. Decide what your impossible goals are. And this can be anything from this personal goal or this business goal. So break them down into smaller goals, and and this will help you to keep your motivation high and make sure that you don't get discouraged. So decide how you will afterwards know when you have achieved your goal. This could be a tangible thing like checking a box or a checklist, or something like feeling accomplished, having confidence in yourself. All these are goals. It's not just something you see. These mental states are a goal in itself. It's very important to be, for example, inspired. One goal would be, for example, think about a solution. Check. What is the solution? A step. Then what would you do? This is another goal. To reach something physically, but it's mental. Everything starts with a thought. So give this deadline. This will give you this date also to achieve your goal, and stay motivated. So once you have this list and your strategies, then it's time to take action. Remember that the hardest part is already done. The hardest part is getting started. So don't wait to start on your impossible goals longer. Start as soon as you can. Remember, if you're struggling with motivation, just think about how amazing it will feel when you check off one of these goals of your list, and you for example, you achieve this big goal. This will help you to see this impossible, and it seems then possible after a while. So who knows, you will end up accomplishing more than you imagine. And so make this plan. So some people just block when they have this idea of achieving, because they think, or they hear that other people say this is impossible, and this might be their reality and their personal life, but it doesn't feel right for you. So the first step is make this plan, how you will achieve your goals, for example, and break down your goals into these measurable results, and then you will know when you achieve the goal. For example, as I said, earn 1,000 with your book or in a business in 1 year. And it's important to identify your core values. That means we all have core values and beliefs, and this is important that we just know them as much as possible. So why? Because success means different things to different people. if our core belief says that for us is living with enough financial resources, you don't need a luxury car, a house, or other stuff, just living happy and have enough resources, then this is our success. Don't compare yourself to others. I know it's not easy, and because at the same time we get inspired, right, by others, but at the same time also it just frustrates us, and this, you know, is not really helpful for us. So good or bad, but you know, you must know your core beliefs, because this provides really this foundation, you know. So make it a habit. Your life is this product of your habits. So how happy or unhappy you are, how you fit, let the phone ring. I mean, this is very important. I don't want to interrupt this video because you know, how we are happy or unhappy, how we fit or not, everything is this result of what you do on this every day, you know. So exercising, talking to people, everything. And one way to build this new healthy habits that will help you to achieve these impossible dreams is through this goal setting. So when you set goals, your brain rewires to help you get there. But it's important to be really specific, you know. It isn't enough, you know, if you say to yourself, I want to make exercise a habit, for example. Instead, you should be more specific, like I will walk 2 miles, and you know, just be specific. This is because it's harder to not follow through to an action plan. So you might think it's impossible to become the next Oprah or Edison, or I know, but this doesn't mean you shouldn't try something. Their successes are a result of their hard work. So they pushed their voices of discouragement, and you should do the same. You can learn how to do the same by reading things that you actually care about, things that they did and how you can do it. So stay motivated. This is the next step, you know. Our human brain has this capacity for generating this positive feedback, right? And this is why it's important to focus on these little victories that we have when we're trying to achieve an impossible goal. So when a task feels overwhelming, for example, break it down into this series of smaller tasks. So this allows you to feel this sense of accomplishments when you just get on these tasks, right? So find your why. Again, find your why. This is what will you gain, for example, about achieving this impossible goal. Having this deep, deep personal connection to your goals, this why, will keep you motivated and push through, you know. You can also find motivation by reading inspiring stories or quotes, and this can help you really to believe in yourself and remind you that the impossible is possible. So finding a reason to pushing through, it's important. And it is essential to take care of your mental health, and while working towards, for example, these goals. And you know, sometimes we don't sleep enough, we have this poor diet or something, but you know, this will also make us feel overwhelmed. So it's important to make time for these things, to eat well, exercise, and avoid these habits. I will just shut down the phone, okay? Just come. So as I was saying, one way to stay motivated is by practicing this mindfulness. And this is a form of meditation that allows us to observe our thoughts without judging them. So doing this increases our awareness and our negative or unhelpful habits, you know. It makes us easier to reframe our thoughts. So again, I just lost the flow, I think. Hold on. Take action because achieving this impossible feels something like a huge thing. So it may be something like a career change or some business project or something big, you know. If you're going after something that feels impossible, it's important to take action. If you don't, you know, we get frustrated, we get discouraged, and we give up because we know that something is bothering us. We don't work towards our goals, and this stresses me out. I mean, if I don't work on my goals daily, sometimes it just stresses me out, because this just feels like it's something, time is passing, am I not reaching something? And I don't know, let me know, but look at your goal and see why it's impossible for you. And then ask yourself questions like, is it because I don't think I'm capable of doing this? Am I putting too much pressure on myself to accomplish this? Or am I chasing something that makes me feel good, that makes me feel bad about myself? So answer this question, and this will help you to decide if, for example, the goal is worth it also. So once you have figured out for you why this goal seems impossible, break it down into the smaller goals, and do this by creating this strategy that will help work for you. For example, if your goal is to become a millionaire, you could start by figuring out how much you will need to save and calculating how long it would take to reach this amount. So afterwards, create this plan that will help you to get to your goal in this amount of time. So this can be like deciding to save and earn a certain amount of money per quarter, or you can take action on this consistent basis then and progress, So it's important to remember that that everything have setbacks. So achieving the impossible is possible, but you must not let these setbacks stop you from continuing to push forward. So giving up and saying that the goal is impossible will never get you anywhere. So the only way is continuation, this action. And don't forget to stay motivated. When it feels impossible, overwhelming and out of reach, sometimes we will feel negative emotions. So it's possible to really fight this. And the first is to make this list of our core values and these beliefs. And this will help us to stay focused and motivated. So identify your core values. This will give you this idea of what success means for you. Success can mean different things, and it means different things for different people. But for most, it means, and it should be always, living a happy and fulfilled life. I know it's cliche, but it's reality. It doesn't mean money. I mean, we need money. We need other stuff. But it means be happy at the end. Don't be greedy. Be happy. So focus on this, on breaking these larger goals into smaller tasks. Make the work seem less daunting sometimes. So each small task is complete, and you will feel the sense of accomplishments, and this encourages you to keep going. Try to boost your motivation. Focus on positive things. Reward yourself. I know I don't do this sometimes, but a lot of times. But if we achieve, and this is the first step, if you achieve one goal, this smaller goal to achieve this impossible bigger goal, reward yourself. Buy yourself something nice that you need, or go out or something. Reward yourself. For example, dining out or vacation even. We don't reward ourselves, and we should, because this is a sign, and this gives us this momentum. So it's important to be resilient and understand that not every project will be a success also. But learn from your mistakes. I have another video about this, and you will come up with new ideas to get back on track, believe me. And follow the steps, and and overcome. You will overcome these challenges and reach these impossible goals, believe me. Business, lose weight, everything will come true if we follow this. So let me know, and I'm sorry about the interruptions, but let me know really in the comments how this helped you, how this was insightful. So believe in yourself, and subscribe to our newsletter. Don't forget, once a week you receive this incredible resources and insights. You know, it starts small, but you will see there are resources, insights that help us to reorganize our thoughts and see opportunities and believe in ourselves. So let me know. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, but most importantly, take care of yourself, and until next time, all the best.